Hi there, my name is Andy, and in this video I want to help you take your first steps in crypto. So basically, this video is a bit of a crypto blueprint or a roadmap if you wish, to give you some ideas of what you may want to do, what topics you may need to explore if you want to start trading crypto or you're just in general interested in crypto and you would like to explore the space a bit more. I divided this content into 12 steps, and I think those 12 steps are more or less in chronological order. Of course, not possible to make it all absolutely perfectly chronological because it depends on every individual's personal needs and interests, but it's in a reasonably logical sequence. So you will start at point number 1 and then gradually work your way down the list. So of course, the first thing you need to do if you want to start exploring crypto is, well, you need to get some crypto first. To do it, you need to set up an account on a crypto exchange. Crypto exchange is, well, just a website where you can trade your currency, dollars, pounds, euro, or whatever other currency you may have in your country, to cryptocurrency. So basically you set up an account on something like Coinbase, which I usually recommend because I think it has the most user-friendly interface, or it can be Binance or FTX. I mean, there are plenty of different exchanges. They are all safe to use. So the main reason to pick one over the other is essentially which one is available in your country or which ones are available in your country and don't have any restrictions. Because depending on the country and local regulations, some exchanges may not be available or may be heavily restricted in terms of what you can do on them. So I would start with Coinbase because, like I said, I think it's the most user-friendly one. And then if that's not available, try using different ones. So once you set up an account on an exchange, and you will need to provide all your personal details, you'll need to take a photograph with an ID and so on. And this process is known as KYC, Know Your Customer. And of course, you will need to connect either your bank account or debit card to be able to purchase any cryptocurrency. But those websites are very, very secure. It's just like, I don't know, setting up an account on Amazon or eBay or similar platform. They have similar levels of security and they're all proper legit companies. So once you have an account on an exchange, well, you need to buy your first crypto. And if you are completely new to it, I would recommend starting with either Bitcoin or Ethereum because they're the most established ones. They have the highest market capitalization, so they are relatively stable. They are less volatile than some other cryptocurrencies. But of course, you have to remember that every cryptocurrency is extremely volatile. So the price can go up and down a lot in a very short period of time. There are absolutely no guarantees what will happen in the future. But these two are definitely the recommended ones if you're completely new because they're about as stable as you can get in the crypto. Then the next step will be setting up your software wallet. So of course you can just store your crypto on an exchange, but you don't have full control over it. It's something called custodial wallet. Basically someone else has the custody of your assets. If you want to have full control over your assets, so for example, to make sure that no one can freeze your assets or no one can, or if the exchange is hacked, your assets are not affected, then you will need to set up your own software wallet and move your crypto to that wallet. Of course, then you have to make sure that your wallet is secured, but well, that's part of the appeal of crypto, that you can keep your assets secure and you are responsible for their security. What's important to remember is that not every wallet will support every cryptocurrency. So for example, one very popular software wallet is MetaMask, but it only supports Ethereum and Ethereum-based tokens. So for example, you cannot store Bitcoin in your MetaMask because Bitcoin is actually a separate blockchain. It's a completely separate network. If you want a wallet for Bitcoin, you will need something like Exodus, which supports not only Bitcoin, but actually many other cryptocurrencies. But depending on what you want to do in the future, you may still need to get MetaMask because it's just more supported in various Web3 applications. If this doesn't make too much sense at the moment, don't worry. As you start exploring this space a bit more, it will definitely all click in. But these are essentially some of the wallets which are worth checking out. Then the next step will be keeping your crypto safe. Then once you have your wallet, well, you have to remember that if you transfer your crypto to that wallet, it's only you who has full responsibility over the security of those assets. If something goes wrong, you cannot call customer support, you cannot complain to someone. Essentially, for your wallet to be hacked, 99% of the time, it's unfortunately your own fault. You have to either click a bad link or you have to give your details to someone you shouldn't give them to. It can be a bit scary at the beginning, so it probably makes sense that you have very little assets in your wallet, but it's definitely worth exploring and learning it because it will be a very important skill in the future. So when it comes to wallets, there are 3 or 4 very important elements. Every wallet will have, of course, a password, and you must keep this password secure. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We are all used to passwords. But also there are 3 other things. There is a seed phrase, which is a string of words, usually between 12 and 24 words, which have to be put in a specific order in order to recover your wallet. For example, if you lose your password, or if your computer, fails and you can no longer open the wallet on your computer, that doesn't mean your crypto is lost. You can recreate that wallet on any other device as long as you have your seed phrase. But this also means that anyone else who has your seed phrase can recover your wallet on any other device without even knowing your password. So it's really, really important to keep that seed phrase secure. There's absolutely no reason ever for anyone to know your seed phrase. If someone asks you for your seed phrase, it's most definitely a scam. And you have to make sure that your seed phrase is never saved on any electronic device. It must be written on a piece of paper and just kept somewhere secure, ideally in 2 separate locations. Never save it on your phone or your email or anything like that because, an electronic device can be quite easily hacked. And then, of course, someone has access to your seed phrase. And then there are 2 other important elements: public key and private key, or public address and private address. Public key or public address is essentially like your bank account number. You can safely give it to anyone. And basically they can, transfer crypto to your account. You can use it to mint an NFT and so on. And no one can do anything malicious with your wallet or to your wallet just by knowing your public key. On the other hand, private key is the exact opposite of that. That's something you use to sign off your transactions on a blockchain. And anyone who has access to your private key can essentially do whatever they want with your wallet and the assets in them because they can sign every transaction as you. Luckily, private key is never really exposed. It's something that's happening in the background. You never really see it. You can see it, but it's not that easy to expose it in your wallet, and you have to re-enter your password and so on. I mean, you have to jump through quite a few hoops, and you'll probably realize that you should not be doing it. And again, if someone asks you for a private key, never ever give it to anyone because there's, again, absolutely no reason why anyone may need it. Essentially, they would only need it to empty your account. So public address, safe to give it to anyone. Password, private key, and seed phrase, always keep it secure. So you have your wallet now. You have some funds or some crypto in your exchange. Well, how you move funds from the exchange to your wallet? That's the next step. It's transferring crypto between 2 addresses. So first of all, you have to make sure that they always go over the same network. What I mean by that is you can only send Bitcoin to a Bitcoin address or Ethereum to Ethereum address. So for example, you cannot send Bitcoin to MetaMask, which is an Ethereum wallet, an Ethereum address. Luckily, in most cases, you will get a warning that this address is not supported or this is an incorrect network, but sometimes it may not happen. So always make sure that you're sending funds to the correct address. If you send them to the wrong address, well, if it's not your address, then the funds are lost because you cannot really recover them. If you send it to the incorrect blockchain, those tokens are burned. They just cease to exist, and again, you cannot recover them. But at the same time, I don't want to scare you. Transferring crypto between 2 different addresses is actually really, really easy. All you need to do is, let's say in this example, if you want to transfer funds from your crypto exchange to your wallet, all you need to do is just get your wallet public address and just paste that public address into the destination or recipient box in the crypto exchange when you're trying to send it, and the funds will then go to that address. What's really good practice is that whenever you're trying to send larger amount of crypto, send a tiny amount first. Of course, it will cost you an additional transfer fee, but if something goes wrong, well, at least you know that you've made a mistake at some point and you only lost a little bit of crypto rather than, your really valuable NFT or all your crypto assets which you're trying to transfer. So doing that initial test transaction is always a really good idea because basically it just keeps your transactions secure, and it's always a good practice, even if you have much more experience with crypto. As you start to process your first transaction, you will realize that there is something called gas fee. On every blockchain, there are gas fees. Some of them are higher, others are lower. It depends on the blockchain, depends how busy the network is. But basically, it's like a transfer fee. You always have to pay it. It may be sometimes just a few cents. It may be sometimes a few dollars. Sometimes it can get more expensive, but those are rare cases. And those fees essentially are there to secure the network, to prevent the network or to prevent hackers from sending like thousands and thousands of transactions just to clog up the network. Because if they try to do it, it will become so expensive that essentially there will be no point of doing it. So that's why there are those fees to make sure that each transaction is legit. And you can track the price of gas on a website like, for example, blocknative.com/gas estimator, and gives you current gas fees. This may not make a lot of sense at the first glance because the prices are in Gwei, which is like a really small fraction of Ethereum, rather than dollars or anything else. But gas fees are a really, really big topic. You can watch videos on my website, or you can check out my course. Or you can look at other resources. There are plenty of them online, but it's just worth knowing what they are and that there is always a gas fee attached to every transaction. So as you start getting a bit more confident and you used to transferring crypto, you may want to explore the space a bit more. So for example, you may want to find some other tokens, other cryptocurrencies or altcoins, which you may want to invest in because, I don't know, you either think that the project is really interesting or simply you're just speculating that it will go up more in value. Basically, the less popular the token is, broadly speaking, the more potential it has for growth, because it has lower market capitalization, so it takes less money flowing into the project to raise its price. It's a bit of a simplification, but for now it will do. So how do you find different tokens? Well, you can go to a website like coingecko.com or coinmarketcap.com. These are websites which essentially give you a list of all cryptocurrencies, and there are thousands of them. So for example, if we look at, well, here it says that there are over 20,000 cryptocurrencies. On CoinGecko, it says 12,000. Not every single one is listed here, but, well, it's more than enough. And they are by default listed in the order of market capitalization. So essentially, how much all of those tokens pulled together are worth. Essentially, it's the number of tokens in circulation. So for example, the number of Bitcoins in circulation multiplied by the price of Bitcoin, so 24,000, gives you market capitalization of approximately $450 billion. And then, as you can see, those numbers are going down quite rapidly. Basically, Bitcoin and Ethereum are by far the two biggest cryptocurrencies, and then everything else is quite a bit smaller. So you can find here various cryptocurrencies by simply typing their name. You can just scroll down the list and try to find something interesting, or you can look at categories. So for example, here we'll see a breakdown of different ecosystems. So we can see different tokens in Ethereum ecosystem, or BNB, or Polygon, Avalanche, and so on. Or we can look at, for example, tokens related to NFTs, or meme tokens, or meme tokens, however you prefer to pronounce it, or what's really popular at the moment, or what was popular and it's likely to be very popular in the next bull market run, gaming tokens. So if we click, for example, on gaming, this will give us a list of tokens, again, in the order of market capitalization, which are focused on various types of, well, essentially they're either various games, like for example, Axie Infinity, or metaverse type projects like the Sandbox, or there may be various other projects. There may be launchpads, so for example, platforms which are designed to launch new projects, and so on. And you can then start exploring various tokens. So let's say you go and see Axie, and then you can see, well, what's the price chart, what was its previous all-time high, what was the all-time low, and so on. But what's really important is this section here. So you can find the contract address. So this is important if you want to buy this token. And some tokens may not be available on big exchanges. I'll come back to it in a minute. So then you need this contract address to make sure that you're not buying a fake token. You can see on what Blockchain Explorer, you can see activity around that token. Again, I'll talk about it in a minute. And you can also find out a bit more where is the community, website and so on, and read up more about the project. So let's say you found a project that you're really interested in, but then you go to Coinbase or Binance, you type it in and you cannot find it, it's not listed there. That's quite normal. A lot of projects, especially new projects or smaller projects, are not listed on big exchanges, or they may be listed on only some of them, or maybe only in some countries, and you may not necessarily be able to buy them. So how can you then purchase it if it's not listed on the big exchange? Well, let's use Axie here as an example. This is a really big token, so not the best example here, but it's good enough to explain it. So if you scroll down, you can see markets on which it's traded. So for example, it is being traded on crypto.com, which is a very popular exchange. It's traded on Binance. It's traded on some other exchanges. If we click see all trading pairs, as you can see, it's traded on many, many different exchanges. And amongst them is something called Uniswap. And this is something we call a decentralized exchange. I have the Uniswap actually open here. So if you cannot find the token essentially on any of those big exchanges, you are most likely find it on a smaller exchange, decentralized exchange like Uniswap. You then just click launch app, and you can connect your wallet. So for example, in this case, it will be MetaMask to this exchange, and you can trade tokens here. So you would select a token, and to make sure that you are finding the right token, rather than using the list, which may contain actually some fake tokens, you would go back to CoinGecko, and if I scroll back up, and you would copy this address here. And if you click on those three dots, you can see that actually this token exists on different blockchains. Again, this is a much bigger topic, and you can learn about it more in my course, or again, just watch various videos. But this symbol here is symbol of Ethereum, so we know that it exists on Ethereum blockchain. So I just copied it, and then I go back to Uniswap, and I can just simply paste the address here. And as you can see here, it found Axie Infinity. So this is how you ensure that you trade an actual real token rather than something that was created by a hacker and designed just to empty your wallet, or maybe not empty your wallet, but basically something that's worthless and you cannot then sell it. Okay, so you traded maybe some altcoins, you made some money, or not. You decide to withdraw some money to your bank account. Even if you didn't really make any profits, or you make a tiny amount, I think it's worth trying it even with a very, very small amount, because a lot of people are worried about how things work in crypto. It's like, okay, well, I bought something, but it's all so immaterial, right? Until it's in your bank account, it's all this magic internet money, which you sort of have it, but well, you cannot really pay for anything with it, or it's not that easy. So it's always good to test, and again, this will depend on the country where you live, because there will be different regulations and so on. How do you actually sell crypto, and how do you withdraw it to your bank account? But in general, the process should be really straightforward. You transfer the crypto you want to sell to your exchange. If you bought some smaller altcoins which are not listed on the exchange, you can sell them again on Uniswap back into Ether. So then you have your Ether, you transfer that to your exchange, so completely opposite process to what you've done previously to transfer it to your wallet or your software wallet. Once it's in an exchange, you just simply sell it for dollars or pounds or whatever other currencies in your country, and then you should be able to just simply withdraw it to your bank account. Sometimes there may be a delay, especially if you have a new account on a crypto exchange. Sometimes it's done to simply protect it in case if there is any questionable activity, but this should only happen at the very beginning, if at all. And for example, in my case, in the UK, when I'm using Coinbase, transfers, it says that it will take up to 48 hours, but usually they're immediate within a few seconds. But it's really important to try it out. And at the moment, the market is relatively quiet, so it's a good time to practice all this stuff, because transferring crypto is quite cheap. So you can quite easily practice it all without actually spending much money. So those first few steps should already make you quite confident in the crypto space. You should be able to find your way around it. But there are a few other things you may also want to explore. For example, one really important thing is using something called Blockchain Explorer. So again, every blockchain will have a different explorer, but for example, for Ethereum, you will use etherscan.io. And here you can paste any address, so for example, any wallet, any token address. So I think I still have Axie, so I can paste that in, hit search. And basically this will give me information about Axie Infinity, about the token or transactions done using Axie. Whenever you're trying to transfer crypto, buy or sell and so on, there will be always a transaction hash or TXN hash, which you can paste here, and it will show you whether your transaction is stuck. For example, there are a lot of pending transactions here for quite a while. Usually it's not pending that long. Or you can see whether, I don't know, it failed maybe, or whether it was processed, but maybe your, I don't know, account in on a crypto exchange has not been updated yet or something like that. Sometimes it can take a few seconds or maybe a minute or two before the balance is updated, especially when you're transferring funds into crypto exchange. I found that sometimes transaction may be confirmed on the blockchain, but not still, you cannot yet see the funds on the crypto exchange. If it's confirmed on the blockchain, it means that the funds went through and everything is fine. So it's good to know it and know how to explore this website, because essentially you then can check what's happening on the blockchain and check your own transactions. As you buy more and more crypto, as your portfolio grows, because maybe the value of the tokens you purchase goes up, it's worth getting something called a hardware wallet. Basically, it just adds additional layer of security to your wallet. So normal wallet is protected by the password. And of course, if you have strong enough password and you didn't expose it anywhere, well, that should be enough. But if you have a lot of valuable assets in your wallet, you may want to add a hardware wallet such as Ledger or Trezor. Always buy those wallets only from the manufacturer's website. Don't trust any resellers, because you never know if someone tampered with that wallet or not. If you order it from the website, it's definitely 100% secure. These two are currently the most popular companies. They are both really, really secure. As far as I'm aware, there was never a case of any hardware wallet made by Ledger or Trezor being hacked. Of course, you still have to keep your password and seed phrase secure and so on. But what it does essentially, it means that you have to connect your hardware wallet and manually confirm the transaction whenever you want to transfer the assets. So that adds that extra layer of security. And also they come with their own software wallet, which supports all or almost all cryptocurrencies. So you could put all your assets there. So it's definitely a great solution if you have bigger portfolio or if you have some valuable assets that you want to store and keep them safe. And last but not least is, well, just exploring what you can actually do with crypto. So of course you can trade it, you can invest it longer term, you can start buying various altcoins and so on. You can explore the world of crypto gaming or DeFi, so decentralized finance. So how you can use crypto to earn essentially interest, much higher interest than what you would get in a bank. Of course, it comes with some risks, but well, that's part of the fun, exploring this space, this new space, and learning what you can do with it. You can also buy, sell, and create NFTs, and you would do it on platforms such as OpenSea for Ethereum-based NFTs, or there are other platforms like Magic Eden, for example, for Solana-based NFTs. It's a huge space. It evolves really quickly, and of course, well, exploring it's probably the most fun aspect of it, just learning what you can do and actually, as the space evolves, doing new things. So I hope this video was helpful. Of course, I know that's a lot of content, and I know that I just very, very briefly touched on all of this. But, well, if I wanted to cover all of it in a lot of detail, it would be hours and hours long. The idea here is to just give you an idea of what to explore, what questions to ask, what platforms, websites to visit, to start setting up yourself for this journey. And if you want to learn more, check out my YouTube channel or check out my course, Crypto Like a Pro. Sign-ups are finishing on the 26th of August, and it will be a really, really good way of learning more about crypto and NFTs and learning how to explore this space. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.